Hello Crestview, Mayor J.B. Witten here with my weekly video chat. Has some really exciting news for you this week. First of all, the event we had on Saturday, the Feeding Families Project. We were able to take in 60,000 pounds worth of food and distribute it to our families here in Crestview who have been hurting somewhat because they're either unemployed or underemployed right now. And so we worked with some organizations like Destined Harvest, United Way of the Emerald Coast, and of course our own city people and local churches. And we gave out all that food on Saturday. We served over about 1,100 families, and we did that with about 300 different volunteers. Something to think about that. Amazing how many people show up to help out. We had about 150 people helping to pack the food on Friday night and another 150 people on Saturday to help distribute it. So many people were involved, United Way of Emerald Coast, Destined Harvest, PERT, the Patriot Emergency Reaction Team, our own local CERT, the County Emergency Response Team, our local police, public services, Recreation Department, our city manager. Just had so many people involved. It was a great event, trying to take care of our people. And the good news is we just had a lessons learned meeting this afternoon so we can improve the flow. Although people that came were telling us it was the most efficient giveaway they had seen. So we're just going to try to improve on that. And let me tell you that Cross Point North Church is planning on doing a smaller one on the 8th of May. Go ahead and check their website for details. It is not a city program, but I just want to let you know because they're reaching out to our residents and I want to be able to help them get the word out. And then we're looking at maybe in May, later in May, we will do a similar type program that Cross Point is doing. And again, keep an eye out. Follow us on Facebook, the city Facebook page, my Facebook page, CCTV, Crestview News Bulletin, WAEZ Radio. We try to get the word out as well as we can. Second program I'd like to talk about is a program that was passed by your city council on Monday night that's going to take some of the tax money that businesses put in to their program called BTR, Business Tax Receipts. And the council voted to have the city manager develop a grant program that will give or rebate some of that tax money back to the businesses so they can pay for their rent, mortgage, utilities, or whatever for all the time they were forced to be closed. And that's the key to the program. They were forced to be closed. It wasn't through any act of their own. And so the city is going to return some of the tax money so that they can take up the cost. I don't want to go into the details because there are a lot of details to it, but the real good thing is the application is very, very simple. It's not a complicated government application. One page. Go to the city webpage. You'll find it flashing around in the front, the grant program. If you're a small business, fewer than 25 people, you were forced to close, go ahead and examine that, look at the details, and then you can fill out the application and send it into the city. Third thing I want to talk about, again, was at the city council meeting, was the program or the project being brought to Crestview by Benchmark Group. They've been tasked to develop a development called Crestview Commons down there between Highway 85 and Physicians Way. There's 22 acres down there, and they are going to try to bring in some businesses down there. The challenge to them is getting it up to the level they need. They're going to have 140,000 yards of dirt. That just blows my mind. But once they get that project going, which will be sometime later this year, eventually they're going to have retail spaces. They're looking at possibly bringing in 2 nationwide restaurants, a retail store, and then some local businesses. And they're not allowed to reveal who they might be until they solidify the contract with those businesses. But keep this in mind. I don't want to get your hopes up. You and I both know you've been here long enough to know we've had other people interested in building in that area, and then it pulled out. But I would just say this, these people have been around 35 years. They're all in one company. They develop the land, they buy the land, develop the land. They have their own engineers, and it looks to me like they're very, very serious, and so I'm optimistic about it. So just keep on following us and finding out what the latest is going to be on that. Next thing I want to talk about is the drive-in movie we're going to try to have on the 16th of May. And I know it's getting some hits on Facebook because the sign is on CBS. It went out a little bit early, but that's okay. People are talking about it already. We're going to do a media release real soon. But I will just tell you that the family movie night we typically have is coming back. We're supposed to come back in April, but of course we couldn't do it. Well, we've developed a alternative, and that is we're going to hang the screen outside the entrance to the amphitheater, and then we're going to have cars line up in the open field, and we'll have an old-fashioned drive-in. Some of you don't even know what that is, but you'll drive up in your car. We're going to transmit low-power FM frequency, and you're going to be able to sit in your car, turn on your radio, listen to the audio, and then watch the video on the big screen up there in front of you. More details will be coming out, but it is going to be the 16th of May, probably right around between 7:45 and 8 o'clock, depending when the sun sets, because we want to make sure you can see the video very, very well. We'll broadcast from behind the screen so you won't take up any parking spots. There will be a challenge to the parking because you can't have people park behind each other and then you can't see in front of you. So we have somebody already looking at how we can stagger the cars. Because of the issues we have right now, we probably will not have a concession, but we'll have some kind of a program by All In Credit Union, who's sponsoring the movie. They're interested in popping some popcorn and some drinks and having somebody in a mask or gloves or whatever deliver them to your car, because people are not going to be allowed to come out of the car. We don't want to do that. We want to keep social distancing, so we're going to have you seated in the car, and we'll take care of you. As I said, more details will be coming out, but I just wanted to address that because I hear it's on Facebook already. I believe I've covered a lot here, so I believe I've covered all I need to do. And I will just say to you, as I've said in the past, we've had a lot of adapting to do with this coronavirus. And I'm proud of the way the businesses, the banks, the citizens have handled it. I commend you for that. I ask you to hang in there a little bit longer. We should be seeing some changes real soon. I can't predict what they'll be, so I'm not going to do that. But I will thank you for everything you've done. And as usual, let me end by saying God bless you and God bless the city of Crestview.